Hi everyone, my name is Lori, my nickname is Rini, and this is Rini Bobini Creations. If this is the first time you've stopped by to check out my channel, I'd like to offer you a very warm welcome. And to my subscribers, I'm so glad you're back. I do have to apologize, I have been absent for a little bit longer than I intended. I do sometimes take some time at Christmas to be with family, and of course it's a busy time. But this year we also just had our year end at work, and I'm afraid I got a bit overwhelmed and was having a hard time keeping up. But I'm back, and hopefully we will keep on keeping on and keep on with the crafting. So for today, I have a terrible time remembering all the birthdays in my world. And so I'm going to make a perpetual calendar. These would make a great gift, and they're so easy to customize to anyone's decor style or interests. So I'm going to stop yakking at you and we'll get on with the crafting. Hi guys, I have just started a new thing, and if you were with me on my last one, you will have seen my thing. When I go to my dad's house, and I go every Thursday, he is 80 and he is in amazing condition. He lives by himself, he drives, I hope I have half of his energy and his wits when I'm his age. But there's something, I don't know whether it's my dad thing or a generational thing, where I cannot leave without taking something with me. I have to have something to take home. And there have been some funny things over the years. My husband and I have quite fun. When I get home, he's always asking what I got today. So I decided to start a segment on what Dad gave me this week. So this week, he's so funny. He gave me this jar, and it's got old coins and things. Now most of them, they're not old coins like collectors. There might be a few in there, but they're from other countries, and some of them are just souvenir coins and that sort of thing. But that was kind of a cool thing. Like, I'm going to go through that and see what we've got in there. Yeah, I can see we drove across Canada when I was a kid, and one of the things we did was stop at Sudbury, Ontario, which is the nickel capital of, I'm not sure if it's Canada or the world, but it's up there. And so we got a souvenir nickel, which is, this big or so. So I see that in there. So that was kind of fun. This one's kind of, sometimes I just love what he gives me, other times I just don't understand. But yeah, so that was kind of fun. And if I see anything really exciting, I'll pull them out and let you see them in another video or at the end of this one. Then he gave me, this is a Red Deer Rebels, that's the hockey team we all cheer for around here, an expired calendar for my fridge. I will probably actually keep it because I will make fridge magnets with them or something of that nature, but yeah, that's what he had for me. And then he has this love, marriage, and divorce funnies, so I'll probably have a read through there, and if I think any of them are worth it, I will maybe incorporate a giggle for you in one of my videos. And then the last thing, now these ones kind of, it's sweet, but it kind of makes me laugh, and I'll tell you why. Because my mom, her most famous thing that she made was a drink called fruit slush, and it's amazing. So I'm actually going to see if you can see that. Anyway, he gave me 2 copies of the recipe, even though I just brought him some for Christmas, so evidently I already have it. I've been making it for years, but I just thought it was cute. I just think it's so sweet that my dad does these things, that he always has something for me to bring home. So anyways, that was our haul this week, and now I will stop yakking about this and we will start the crafting. Okay, so I don't know about any of you, but I always have a terrible time remembering everybody's birthday and all of that, and having it somewhere where I notice it and I don't forget. So I remember my kids and my husband, but then you got in-laws and you got brother-in-laws and, sister-in-laws and brother-in-laws and son-in-laws and daughter-in-laws, and then I start to not keep them all straight. And so I am going to make a perpetual calendar. I'm going to do a few of them actually, because I've had some other people ask for them as well. So I've just got this board. I got this from work we get pallets, and sometimes some of the wood on there I will steal. I did sand it down, but not perfectly. It doesn't need to be like super smooth because we're going to completely cover it anyway. But I am going to give it a quick coat of white paint just so that when I go to Mod Podge on my fabric, it doesn't bleed through. So I'm just going to use some white chalk paint. And this is Folk Arts brand, if you care. I think I just bought them from Amazon actually, so you can get them pretty much anywhere. And I need some clean water. That is nasty. One moment. All right, so I got some clean water, and I'm just going to do one coat. Again, not perfect coverage. We are covering it all with fabric and some felt on the back and that sort of thing. Just enough so when I Mod Podge the fabric on, I think it would probably be fine without this step. And if you have a dark, if you're using like, I've got another one here I'm going to do, and it's got blacks and blues and stuff. I'm not going to bother with that one, but just to make sure that when I put it all together, the wood isn't bleeding through the color of the wood isn't bleeding through the fabric when I Mod Podge it. Now I'm just going to do the front, which this part is, and then the two sides and the ends. I'm not going to worry about doing the back because when I'm done, I'm going to just cover that with some felt anyway, some felt backing. So, and you can see this is rough. I gave it the lightest sanding just to get rid of any sort of splinters. But where I live, it's really, really cold out right now. I'm in Alberta, Canada. And I don't have a garage. I don't have one, which I hear about from my husband on a regular basis. So the less time I have to spend outside trying to sand things, the better. Okay, well, the white one's drying. I thought we might as well move on here and do one of these other ones because the process is all the same. It's just a fabric that's different. So I've got this fabric. I no idea where I even got it at this point, but I quite like it, and I've been trying to think of something to do with it for a while, and this is just the ticket. So I'm just going to cut it a little. Actually, I'll just rip it. There. So I'm going to make enough to wrap around the top with some extra, the front of course, and then the bottom with some extra, but I'm not going to do the back because I'm going to use felt for that, and that's so I can put on the hanger and that sort of thing at the end. So just using our Mod Podge, nothing fancy. I'm just going to start doing that, and you can see it was getting cold. This was the last one I did, and I did a really rough job on this, but I was getting very cold and my fingers were getting numb. But at the end of the day, no one will know it but me. So going into our Mod Podge here. And I'm just going to give it a pretty generous coat. And I did not dab the water out of my brush. And I probably will have to go over this bit a little bit, but I just find wood soaks it up so quickly. Especially if you didn't paint it or something first, that I don't mind my brush being a little bit wet. It just kind of helps with that, I think. And we're going to Mod Podge over top of it both ways anyway, so we'll be fine. I will do the top two. Now when you do it, you want to go a little bit longer. And I'm going to actually, you'll see me do it. I'm probably just going to fold it over just a bit. So I'm going to put just one sort of line of Mod Podge along the end here. So when I go to put my felt backing on, it hides all the messy ends. So I'm not going to go all the way around, just enough to hide some of those messy ends. And I'm probably going to felt the sides too. I'm not quite sure, but we'll see how it folds over while we go here. So I should probably cut. And if I feel the need to, I'm going to go a little bit longer so I can cover my ends if I choose to go that route. There. Yeah, that's pretty good, I think. Where's my scissors that I've probably buried somewhere? Ideally, you should cut this first. I don't know what I was thinking. Just making things harder for myself, I suppose. So if I'm gonna go right about there. Now, something to know about certain fabrics, it will not work on knits, but on cottons like this, if you rip, it generally rips in a straight line. It stays on that line, and unless you need a specifically nice cut edge, I'm not great with cutting straight lines. I'm just not. I don't know why, but I'm not. So whenever I can rip my fabric, I do. Yeah, and so some of them, I was just going to mention that, and then this proved my point. You can rip them one way, but not the other. Okay, there we go. So I think just because this is drying quick, I'm going to Mod Podge that side first, just so everything stays nice and where I want it, and I let my paintbrush fall all the way in, so now it's a mess, but that's okay. And just remember, we're going to hide all the back of this. This is just to kind of keep the seams where we know we're going to hide them after, or the hems, I guess. And so none of this is going to show at the end. Alright, so it's all hardened now and tight, and we are just going to do the ends like a Christmas present, like you're wrapping a present. So I'm just waiting for my hot glue to heat up and just make sure that that's going to work. So our ends will look like that. So nothing fancy, just to tuck them in and make it look a little bit tidier. So I'll start by just putting some hot glue, and you can Mod Podge this. I just thought with the layers it would be a bit of a pain, so I decided just to hot glue. Okay, so we should be left with something like similar to this. So we are now going to put on our months, and I just did a letter on my Cricut for each month of the year. Now if you don't have a Cricut, Dollar Store, Dollarama, all of them, they always have all kinds of stickies or stickers or stencils or anything like that would be just fine, but because I have my Cricut, I just chose some fonts and how I wanted to do it, and I'm just going to lay them out where I think I want them. Now I would say with this part, it's up to you if you want to just hot glue it or if you want to Mod Podge it. I think I'm going to Mod Podge it. I think hot glue would work fine. But I'm going to be putting mine in my kitchen where I will see it. And I'm just thinking that it might need a little bit better finish so I can wipe it down and stuff, you know, if it gets splatter or dusty or kitchen grease or any of that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and use Mod Podge, but like I said, any glue for this part I think would work, whether it's hot glue or, you know, Aleene's, any of those I think would work. So I'm just going to do them one at a time. Just spacing them out how I think I want them here. All right, and you can put them center. I'm going to do a little embellishing later, so I wanted to leave some space up at the top for me to do some of that. So yeah, we're just going to give them a little coat of Mod Podge here and get them all attached and adhered, and once they're all dry, we'll so those are almost dry, not quite, but we'll start getting the next bit together. So I got this, actually one of my daughter-in-laws gave me this in my stocking because she knows I love crafting, and so I thought it would be the perfect match for what I'm doing here. So I'm just cutting them. Now you can totally cut them however long you want. I kind of think that's going to be good for me for what we're doing. So I need to cut one for each month. Okay, so I've got one cut for each month of the year, and then I'm going to do a little bit of a longer one to be our hanger. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it. We can always adjust the side later. So now we're going to take our strings and we are going to glue them on the back. But we want to be careful that we get them where the months are. So I'm kind of, how can I do this so we can all see? If I do it that way maybe, and then I'm just going to do a line of my hot glue. And again, we will hide all this ugly backing, so it doesn't have to be pretty. All right, so we've got them all on there, and we're just going to put the hanger on the back as well. So I'm just going to do it just on the ends there. Let the other side go. So then we need to keep these hanging nice and straight, and just to give them a little something, I've got these little bees that I picked up from the dollar store, Dollarama I believe. Now they do have the sticky bit on the back. I don't love that sticky bit. I don't think it stays very well, so I usually just take it off and use hot glue. So, and then they peel right off, there's nothing to them. So I'm just going to put one on the end of each of my strings, and that will not only keep it hanging the way I want it, just gives it a little bit of pretty. So I probably should. In fact, we better do that. Just make sure they're all hanging straight and our bees aren't going to be crooked. And if you do get a crooked one, just pop her off and put it back on. It'll be fine. So yeah, I think we'll just add our little bees. And I think I'll do the bigger ones on the bottom. And then I've got some smaller ones, so I'm going to do a little embellishing on top as well. Oop. Actually, I think what I'll do is I'll do every second one because I think I have some sunflowers that I might want to incorporate as well. So I'm gonna do every second one. But do whatever suits your house, like, and really you could just skip this step entirely if you wanted to. It's just this is completely personal preference. So I'm just gonna see if I do have those sunflowers before I get too far here. So I do have some, but they're a little bigger than I remembered them being actually, but that's all right. So I think I'm going to, just for a bit of color and just to give it a little something, I'm gonna do one bee and one ladybug, and I'll alternate them, and then that's gonna actually help pull everything together when we're done. So I'm just making sure everything's hanging the way it needs to hang when I do this. And then we are going to incorporate some of those sunflowers in there. And just do some embellishing. Sorry, I know this is out of camera view, but I'm just trying to make sure they hang right. So let me just show you what we're doing. Let's see. And when they hang, like right now they're going to spin because they're all moving. But when they hang, you get them hanging on the wall. If you decide, you know, if one's just not laying right, and I keep trying to make them lay right, you can always pop them off and just sorry, I'm still out of camera, aren't I? Let me just do this because I think it's just moving too much and I can't hold it up high enough to get in the camera. So I'm just going to alternate them like this. And like I was saying, it might even be easier to hang it on the wall and do them that way, attach them that way. But if, like for me for the video and stuff, it's not a big deal. If you get them up there and the one is just facing backwards and won't lay flat, just pull them off and put them back on. It's not a big deal. So let's keep going on these guys and then we'll finish embellishing and do the final touches. Okay, so they're all on now. I know you can't really see them, but there we go. So now we're just gonna make it all pretty. So I am gonna use some of these sunflowers, and again, they do have the sticky bit on the back. I always add some extra glue because I just don't find they work that well. So yeah, we're just gonna add some extra glue to keep it on there. I'm having an issue with my glue gun. Bear with me here. And we're gonna add some more of those bees. And I think we will add some ladybugs. Ooh, jumper. Yeah, I think I'm going to, I'll go see what's going on with my glue gun here and I will be back to you. All right, so you can see we've got her all put together here. And so just to clean up the back and just to make sure that it doesn't scratch the walls or anything, I've just cut a piece of white felt and I'm just gonna hot glue that on and it'll make the back not so ugly. And it'll hold everything in place, and then we'll do the final steps. So I'm here just hoping my glue gun's hot now. And it seems to be, but I'm gonna just make sure these are all facing the right way. Okay. And I'm just gonna, the hanger one, just gonna make sure I put some extra glue on there. Okay. So now there's a couple of different ways that you could attach and things you could use. You could totally use your Cricut and cut them out, but I got these little keychains. I like that they were a little bit sturdier than just the paper. They've got the tin around the outside, and they've got the ring here. So you could remove the ring and just, you know, put some ribbon or something on there if you wanted to. But what I've decided to do, I am going to take the ring off, because what I'm going to do is I've got these little mini clothes pegs, and I thought I had enough to do the project, but apparently I've used them all on other projects, so I just have a couple right now, but you'll get the idea. So I'm just going to, actually I think we'll do it this way. I'm going to glue the little mini clothes pegs right onto the rope, or the string, or whatever you choose to use. And then I'm going to take these off the rings. I thought about leaving them on, but I think they won't hang quite the way I want them to. And I'm just going to clip them on just like that. And so I've got, you know, that happens to be my brother, and his birthday is, oh, it's actually January. I'm looking at it upside down, aren't I? But anyways, you get the idea. So I've got B-Day and the day that it is. And I'll do that with anniversaries and birthdays and all of that. So I'm just hoping that, I might have done it backwards. Oh no, we're good. So yeah, I'm just going to do that all the way along, and I've even considered, and still might do, you know, doing anniversaries in red and birthdays in blue, or whatever. That is entirely up to you. And of course you can keep adding as many as you need, and my advice, hang it somewhere where you're going to see it, and you won't forget people's birthdays like I do on occasion. Anyway, I'm going to pick up some more of those little clothes pegs, and when I've got it all together, I will take some better pictures for you and show you the final product. I really hope you like this. I am going to do several. I'll just show you the fabrics just to get your imagination going. I got this little skinny bee one that I'm going to do up for a friend. I did the same. There's another one much like the one we have here with just the bees, and I've got some other bees and different stickers for that one. I think I sort of showed you a bit of this one in the beginning, where if you're using a dark fabric, you don't necessarily need to paint. And I am going to do some other ones, but I just wanted to show you how versatile it is, how much you can completely make it custom to whatever you want, whatever suits you. Anyway, I really hope you like it, so I'll get some pictures of the final product and we'll be good to go.